What's up, guys? Spin Firearms here, and with the way things are going, how expensive everything is, and just the price of living alone for a household, for a family, for kids being so ridiculously expensive, budget options are sometimes one of the best ways to go. If you're looking for something to protect your family with, but also not break the bank, these are some great options. Now, I named this video Relevant Options That Are Budget Friendly. And what do I mean by relevant? Well, not to me. All handguns are relevant. If you're good with them, can defend yourself, then they are relevant. But to the internet warriors, keyboard warriors, trolls, whatever you want to call them, single stacks, like the CZ P10M that you can get for around $229 to about $375, it's obsolete. One of the handguns I carry the most, my Smith & Wesson M&P 40 Shield, that was $300, $100 for the conversion barrel. It's not relevant to people because of capacity. So my point being is we're going to get into handguns that are relevant when it comes to capacity, but are still budget oriented. And budget oriented, we're going to start $400 and below. And now you're not going to find all these handguns for $400 and below everywhere, but if you search the internet, find the right place, you can find all of these handguns for cheaper than $400. But before we get started, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe. I am in the same boat everyone else is in. I wake up at 3 a.m. Monday through Friday and work an 11 to 12 hour shift. I love my job, I love my career, and I do YouTube on the side. But I get how expensive things are, and I get the struggle 100%. So we're going to start off with this right here. The Smith & Wesson CSX, a 12+1 hammer-fired Micro 9. One of the smaller Micro 9s, believe it or not. The slide is so short. The trigger is decent. A lot of people get the model, the CSX model, and their trigger seems to be a little different and have a false reset. Mine's been pretty solid. It's a really fast shooter. And what's nice about this is you don't necessarily have to shoot from the reset. A lot of people want to shoot it from the reset, but because the reset is so short, you can fully extend that finger just, quarter of an inch, half an inch, and you're going to be back on that trigger. So I absolutely love the CSX. And because so many bad reviews were put out about this handgun, you can find them now for about $3.99. And I just want to say this again. This right here is the most ergonomic Micro 9. I got the large back strap in, 12 round mag. It is so ergonomic. That beaver tail is just perfect. Feels so good in the hand. Next up is an older handgun, and I guess people would say this isn't relevant anymore, but it's relevant in this case because it's 13+1, a very small subcompact. Yes, it's thick, but this is one of the best shooters on the table. Actually, let me look around. It is the best shooter on the table. That heavy, thick slide really helps with recoil, and I think this is a great handgun for people first getting into handguns simply because it has two safeties. Not only the dingus safety, but it also has this grip safety. And if you're naturally just going to grip the handgun, that grip safety is going to work every time. I haven't had a single issue, and I have that on all my Springfield Armory XD series handguns. And you can find those for about $350 to $400. Next up is the XDM. I couldn't believe it when I saw this on sale. $400. I don't know if they're discontinuing it or getting rid of it, but this is, in my opinion, Springfield Armory's best compact. This right here is 13+1. It's got a nice, thick, heavy slide. It has that grip safety, but the ergonomics are on point. The recoil impulse is amazing. The sights are great. It's just one of my favorite handguns to shoot with at the range. I don't carry it that often, but it's been my home defense firearm. It's one of my range firearms. I absolutely love the XDM. And the fact that they have such a high quality handgun for $400, I mean, that's absolutely amazing. Let's go ahead and talk about the Ruger SR9C. Now, these are discontinued, but you can find them floating around on the internet. And this is Ruger before they started coming out with all these other handguns, which in my opinion have less quality. The SR9 series was built to last. They all come with manual safeties, unfortunately, but they're very stiff, so it's fine. Ergonomics on point, a great shooter. I absolutely love the SR9 series. Like I said, you can find them used for about $300, as that's what I paid for mine. Next up is one of the best pocket pistols, hands down. It is a unicorn. There's nothing like it. 10+1 in this small setup right here. I wear size large gloves. 10+1 setup of $380. Has a good trigger. Comes with a nice front night sight and a U-notch blacked out rear. And you can find these for $350 to $400. I've seen them even cheaper than $350. One of the best things you can have is a pocket pistol. You know why? Just like your phone, just like your wallet, fits in your pocket, can go everywhere with you. Absolutely love the LCP Max. Next up is too big for me to carry, but the Dagger. $300, reliable. You can get them for $400 and below with all sorts of features, threaded barrels, optics ready, whatever you want. But it's just a good quality budget handgun based off the Glock Gen 3 design, interchangeable as well. I absolutely love it. I love the daggers. I have 2 of them, not a single issue, and I stand by them. They're good shooters. They're very ergonomic. The texturing is pretty good on them, but it fits my hand like an absolute glove. It sort of jams my 3 fingers between this little flared out magwell grip thing and then that undercut. So it feels really good in the hand. Next up, CZ P10S. This is what I'm going to say is one of the best values on the table. $350 right now. Get them while you can, because if CZ announces next year they're discontinued, who knows how many will be left on shelves. But for $350, it doesn't get more quality than this. The CZ P10S has an awesome flat face trigger, pretty good ergonomics, decent texturing, but has an amazing finish, and that trigger is just on point. Next up is so far my sleeper of 2024, the G-Force Arms GF9 Rapture. It takes a Glock 26 upper and all other parts except for that mag catch and magazine, because that frame gets thin and is the same exact width as a 43X. Comes with nice fiber optic sights, runs reliably, comes with a nice flat face trigger that's better than your average Glock. But the best part about this handgun is the ergonomics and the texturing. It is just on point. I absolutely love this thing. And who would have known a company that's smaller, only has 2 handguns in production, would be one of my favorites. Now this is the other handgun on the table battling for the best overall value. My Shield Plus cost me $375. Right now I got a Mag Guts kit in there, so if you had that Mag Guts kit, this is a $400 setup. 13 plus 1, awesome texturing, amazing trigger, awesome finish on every Smith & Wesson. Great handgun. I would say if you're looking for a Micro 9 for cheap, this is the way to go. Speaking of Micro 9s, the Ruger Max 9. Now, I paid a little bit much for mine. Mine was $399, but I also was supporting a local gun store, so that's fair. And I really like this handgun. I like the texturing. I like the trigger. I love that tritium fiber optic sight. As you can see, still glows in the dark. Just a good solid handgun, 12 plus 1, but you can get them for $299. For $299, this is definitely one of the best values on the table. Mine has a manual safety on it. It is what it is. But just a good quality handgun, a good shooter, and definitely a contender for the best Micro 9. Not my favorite Micro 9 by a long shot, but a good solid handgun that I would carry. Another Micro 9, the GX4. You can find these anywhere from $230 to $300. A while back, I even saw them as low as $220. The GX4, in my opinion, is one of the greatest handguns for the price. The problem is Taurus is just, they're not unreliable, their quality control is unreliable. That's what I want to say. A lot of them come back to gunsmiths. A lot of them come back to wherever you got your warranty through. A lot of them come back to Taurus. I've heard some crazy numbers from my local store, my local range, also from members who go and shoot there. They say that these are coming back pretty often, and not just because of the recall, just Tauruses in general. So would I bet my life on this handgun? If it's reliable for me. There's people that can pound round after round after round downrange, not have a single issue like mine. Then there's other people who, they right out of the box, they start shooting and issue after issue after issue. So if yours runs, if you test yours, it's reliable, this is one of the greatest priced handguns on this table. Ergonomics on point, recoil impulse better than the P365, better than the Hellcat. It's just a great handgun. Another subcompact, the Stoeger STR-9 subcompact. This was actually my sleeper of the year, of last year. This is one of the handguns that just flies under the radar. It's 10 plus 1 subcompact, looks like a mini Glock 26 because it's basically a clone of a Glock 26. But I just love this handgun. The recoil is so minimal. It's got that nice flat face with the curve at the end trigger. Good texturing. They threw a rail on there. Glock, take note. They threw a rail. Great texturing. Glock, take note. They threw texturing on there. Great metal sights. Glock, take note. Metal sights. Great handgun. And those go for like $240. It's ridiculous. Last but not least, this is a handgun I'm not sure that they make anymore, but this is equivalent to their subcompact. Back in the day, they called it their compact, as you can see, the MMP40C. But I see a lot of these online, and that's because they're law enforcement trade-ins. I see a lot of them. And what's nice about them is, being a law enforcement trade-in, this isn't their main carry unless they're like sergeant and above or something like that. I believe sergeants can carry subcompacts as their main, I believe, or detectives, sergeants that are detectives, something like that. but this is mainly their backup pistol. So if their city did a deal with Smith & Wesson, then they're probably carrying the full size, right? But this is their ankle pistol. This is their backup. 10 plus 1 of 40. Absolute great round. And what I like about this handgun is that big, thick, heavy slide really handles that recoil well. Yes, it's 40. Yes, it's snappier than a 9mm, but very, very manageable in this package. And you can get a good 2.5 fingers on it if you have size large hands. Just an awesome handgun, and I love the finish on it. The stainless steel is just perfect. Like I said, you can find them at Bass Pro Shop. You can find them online. Just type in Smith & Wesson M&P 40C, and chances are you will find a used one for $300. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope this helped you out. Thanks for watching.